TV.
A very good morning and welcome to Wake Up News Live on Globe TV with me, Sandra BOAHEN. Now let's take a glance through the headlines. Some junior high school students partaking in this year's BEC are confident they will come out with flying colors. Also, President Akufo-Addo has commissioned a 20-unit residential facility for justices of the Appeals Court in Kumasi. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has threatened to take legal action against the government for failing to pay over 10 billion cedis accrued debt it owes contractors. Well, we've got this and many other details coming up to you, including sports. Well, thank you very much for your time. In our very first story for this morning, some junior high school students partaking in this year's BEC are confident they will come out with flying colors. The students say they have prepared adequately for the exams and are optimistic to obtain good results. The examination commenced on Monday across various examination centers in the country.
According to the West African Examination Council, this is due to the consistently low entries for the BEC for private candidates over the years. A total of 552,276 candidates from 18,501 schools across the country are taking the exams for school candidates at 2,023 centers, while a total of 1,132 private candidates registered for the exam and are taking the papers at 15 selected centers. Some students who spoke to Globe News after taking their first paper indicated that they have prepared adequately for the examination and are confident to excel in the exams.
The paper wasn't difficult, it was easy and super fantastic. I was super prepared for the next paper.
Please, the paper was to our level and I think we'll do well.
Oh, it was cool. We were able to write. Didn't face any challenge, but we are all prepared to go and write our second paper.
I'm more than ready. I'm going to kill the beats. Right. I'll kill the paper.
The Ghana National Association of Teachers has urged the WAEC examination body and invigilators to be diligent with their supervision to avoid malpractices. Speaking to some invigilators, they assured that all appropriate measures had been put in place to safeguard test security and the successful conduct of the examination.
See the total number of candidates in my center here, the total number given to me, 287.
Are supposed to.
Yes, they are supposed to come here to write. But this morning realized that one from Krumu Presby JHS B that person is absent. So currently we have 287 candidates writing. This morning that we realized that that candidate didn't show up. So I made it, yes, a point, and then I went to the class to ask for of the friends. And they told me that ever since they finished the registration of the BEC, the guy didn't show up to school. So as the days go by, when we finish to this paper, that is where I'll find out from the teachers to see. But as we speak, we've not been able to contact the parents.
I've not encountered any malpractice, yes, because we warned them before the time was up for the paper. Complaining of chest pains, severe one. And as such, when we were about to start the paper, he was rushed to the hospital. Even right now, I'll try my best to get in contact with him, but I don't know what is happening.
Now, President Akufo-Addo has commissioned a 20-unit residential facility for justices of the Appeals Court in Kumasi. The project, which comprises 4 bedrooms each, a swimming pool, and recreational facilities, has been completed on schedule. According to the President, the facility would accommodate justices who usually commute from Accra to Kumasi to sit on cases. It is expected to ease the accommodation pressure of the justices and fast-track adjudication of cases at the Appeals Court in Kumasi. This means justices of the court who commute from Accra to Kumasi can be accommodated in Kumasi to help reduce the cost and time to promote justice delivery. And now, as Ghana's mining industry strives to break away from male dominance and environmentally challenged gold processing methods, the first Ghanaian female professor in minerals engineering, Professor Grace Ofori Sapon, and currently the Dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies at the University of Mines and Technology, Takwa, Ghana has unveiled the research work during her professorial lecture at the University of Mines and Technology in Takwa. And now, the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has threatened to take legal action against the government for failing to pay over 10 billion cedis accrued debt it owes contractors. The contractors lament that for over 4 years now, the government has stopped paying contractors for work done, a situation they say is having a negative toll on both businesses and their personal lives. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industries, Emmanuel Cherry, said their members will resort to the court to compel the government to pay them. The Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industries, Emmanuel Cherry, further stated that if their chairman is threatening that they will take legal action against the government, it is because of the 10 billion debt the government owes them. The chamber is also demanding the government to make an account to Ghanaians on how much of the proceeds from the e-levy has been invested into infrastructure development. You're still watching the Wake Up News live on Globe TV. Still to come, the government has provided a grace period for persons who are yet to complete the process to re-register their SIM cards. Well, we've got this and many other details coming up to you, including after this break. You're welcome back. Now, the government has provided a grace period for persons who are yet to complete the process to re-register their SIM cards. After an earlier deadline of September 30 to be registered, they will now only be blocked after October 31st. However, the government has said all other unregistered SIMs will also be blocked progressively. A statement from the Ministry of Communication noted that this is not an extension of the deadline, but a temporary moratorium to encourage these individuals to complete the process. The statement also indicated that close to 29 million SIM cards have been linked to Ghana cards, which is the first phase of the registration process. President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has once again rejected calls for the dismissal of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, saying such a move will amount to a betrayal of trust. Speaking in an interview as part of a tour of the Ashanti region, the president said Ken Ofori-Atta has discharged his duties excellently and he cannot relieve him of his position.
I came to office in 2017 under an IMF program, stringent program. This same man was able to manage the affairs of our economy in such a way that the first 4 years of my first term, we were one of the fastest growing economies in the world, an average growth rate of 7% a year. From the beginnings of an IMF program, an economy that allowed us to initiate the program Planting for Food and Jobs. Good. So somebody who's been able to do that, nothing so why would I say that? How do I do that? How do I do that? What would be the basis? What is the rationale? So I'm going to be able to say, first time we crown, matter now. I'm sorry, I said, I'm repeating for my second term. I repeated him for my second term. For me, their performance in my first term was excellent. Let me use that word, excellent. And that is why I had very little difficulty.
Now, President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has said he understands the duty he has to develop the country, when his attention was drawn to the fact that some people have threatened to vote against the new Patriotic Party (NPP) because the government has not developed part of the country as expected. Mr. Akufo-Addo said on Monday that if someone decides to vote for the NDC in the general election, it is their choice and that is not of his problem. The president further said he takes full responsibility for the current economic difficulty, but stated one cannot gloss over the external factors. This is the first time the president has publicly owned up as the country's microeconomy continues to be challenged. The president was, however, optimistic the economy will recover before he finishes his term. Now, Ghana's city slumped to become the world's worst performing currency this year as investors continue to squeeze foreign capital into the West African country before a deal with the International Monetary Fund. The currency of the world's second biggest cocoa producer depreciated as much as 3.3% Monday before paring the loss to 11.2750 per dollar at 3:30 p.m. in the capital Accra. That took its losses this year to more than 45%, the most among 148 currencies tracked by Bloomberg. The city slide has accelerated in the past month as Ghana began formal negotiations with the IMF for an extended credit facility. The country is hoping to receive up to $3 billion in loans over 3 years under the arrangement to spare its finances and support the balance of payments. Consumers and traders are expressing worry about the hikes in the prices of food and corresponding products amid soaring inflation. According to a World Bank report earlier in the month, Ghana ranked first as the country with the highest food prices in sub-Saharan Africa this year. The Ghana Statistical Service also said Wednesday that the annual consumer inflation maintained an upward surge in September with an increase of 37.2%. According to some Ghanaians, the increase in prices were taking a heavy toll on their finances.
There are growing concerns about the cost of living in Ghana currently. The cost of food, rent, transport, and other basic amenities seem to be skyrocketing by the day, and many are very uncomfortable with the situation. Based on the 2022 Africa Pulse report, Ghana has been ranked first with food prices rising up by 122%. Today, we are going to talk to a few people to see how they are dealing
because Sikano Kosro, Yeri Sefa na Yejuma, Yesu Sefa dollar, and Yedi Yejuma. They say a kumi yen, meme de minimu bidi a timakuma. So ye man a boom equisitri, a biniguay, a biguha, a sense surhenina, and a craman sense because a reanishina no say ye. Intinema ya tutumni de, meme de a kumi furiasi.
They say it can never come. They say Coco Cotta as a 2 city. Can you work at 1 city out of Coco? Ne, Coco 2 city. Abro, no walk or so. Nkatia, no walk or so. Nkatia 12 million. Bag.
They say Nippon Bassa over to Jende, and draw by 90 city. China over Banana 100 city. Nippon City Messoa, what in the same year? One shall own over Boca. Then so Nippon Antiman to a sewer. So bag about Kobe Farm Juada, I copy Fieranes when sign. Price was rent, and we won't be my says Casamini young so Jadi and so young so. If I first idea of better be a 20 city now by MC 40 cities. And even cross a minute kita and cafes water 1 city 50 pesos. And then you turn bear 40 for a cancer 4 cities. And you know, I don't know, in some baby. Carbine and coming Kwan, go bet my young bibi. Say Bianca Jadi and some non cabet Yako for Maya. Because we are near ma, who discovered Jombia almost bear 10 million, obedi Johnny baby and 10 million and baby. Wahoo. Near ma, Kwan, a cost on sugar 1 bag, a Kobe can say 5 million. Because maybe a ton bear 4.5. Says a week will Kwan make us a 5 million. Yenim dear Cosso.
One boy a day. Every day a 2 no mamu. And then 1 city and now 2 city. And now 100 city at number better no 150. Just a difference 50 cities. Sometimes 100 cities difference no. Too much. I say we be una dey na pay but 20 minutes. Ti higher your body mama nto ade. Yes, ban. Wanting no masomo yen.
Based on our interactions, the people are complaining about the dollar rate and the high price of fuel, which is affecting their businesses and their livelihood, and pleads with the government to intervene. Belinda Tete, reporting for Globe TV.
Now, as Ghana's mining industry strives to break away from male dominance and environmentally challenge gold processing matters, the first Ghanaian female professor in minerals engineering, Professor Grace Ofori-Sapon, and currently the dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies at the University of Mines and Technology, Takwa, Ghana has unveiled a research work during her professorial lecture at the University of Mines and Technology in Takwa.
Ofori-Sapon holds a PhD in Energy and Mineral Engineering from the Pennsylvania State University, University of Park, USA, MSc in Environmental Resources Management, and BSc in Metallurgical Engineering, both from Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KUST, Kumasi, and also the Dean of School of Postgraduate Studies at the University of Mines and Technology, Takwa. She serves as a member on several national boards, including the governing boards of the Minerals Income Investment Fund, Ghana Chamber of Mines Tertiary Education Fund, and the governing council of the University of Mines and Technology. Professor Grace Ofori-Sapon said her research work is a game changer for gold processing companies as it uses microorganisms for gold processing. instead of the roasting method that pollutes the environment.
The significance of my lecture. When we talk about gold, we all love gold. Gold is found in rocks. The particles are very, very small. So when the rock is hard, we need to break the rock and get access to the gold before we can take it. Some of the rocks, even after breaking, the gold is still hidden in some shells that we cannot break. And so we have to do pre-treatment. Pre-treatment, we can use various methods. But some of them, for example, we burn, roasting, and it pollutes the environment. So we are using microorganisms. Microorganisms are living organisms, but they are just tiny, tiny, we cannot see with our eyes. So microorganisms are able to break down the rocks, release the gold, so that we can take it. In this case, we are using fungus. The fungus lives in the environment, so it's available. So if we use that to break the rocks, we are not polluting the environment because it's already in the environment.
Professor Grace Oferi-Sapon, who is also the first female professor to be produced from UMAT, said the fish she has reached should be an encouragement for women to seek new heights.
So that makes me feel so good. And already I have a platform where we motivate the younger ones. So this has added to the credentials where, we have a lot of stories to give to the younger ones so that they will also move up. We say that the sky is not our limit. The sky is only a springboard. So they jump on it, somersault into the higher levels.
Now, the poultry farmers are still calling on the government to begin producing more maize and soya under the Planted for Food and Jobs program to alleviate the challenges of poultry farmers. According to farmers, the price of ingredients for poultry feed has seen an astronomical increment, thereby impacting the price of chicken and eggs sold on the market. Currently, a 200-kilogram bag of maize is sold for over 200 cedis, while it used to sell for less than 100 cedis a month ago. According to the poultry farmers, many have shut down their businesses, which several others are on the verge of collapse due to the high cost of doing business. Let's now take a look at what is happening in some parts of the world. Well, coming up next is the sports update, and Robert is ready to give us the update. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra. Hello, good morning. It's now time to bring you updates from the world of sports. My name is Robert KONYEH. Let's take a look at some headlines of today. After 24 years, the Ballon d'Or has returned to France, and Karim Benzema won it for France yesterday after Zinedine Zidane in 1998.
De cette récompense, c'est pour toi, Karim Benzema.
It is indeed Karim Benzema, the fifth Frenchman to win the Ballon d'Or, first since Zidane in 1998. And recognition for Benzema after what was An outstanding season for Real Madrid. Back in the French team as well.
Now the prelims round draw of the MTN FA Cup is set for today. Clubs from the Division 1 and Division 2 will know their opponents later in the day. Now the details of this and many more stories will come your way after the short break. You're welcome back. Now let's start with games from the Italian Serie A and the La Liga, which came off yesterday. Sampdoria lost at home to AS Roma by 1-0. The game between Lecce and Fiorentina ended up in a 1-1 draw. Villarreal beat Osasuna by 2-0 in the La Liga Santander.
Here at Marassi.
Let's move to the Ballon d'Or 2022, which took place yesterday in France. We'll be taking a look at various winners from the various categories. The men's Ballon d'Or went to Karim Mustafa Benzema from France, and he plays for Real Madrid. Now, the women's Ballon d'Or went to Alexia Putellas, who plays for FC Barcelona. And then we have the Yashin Trophy, which goes to the best goalkeeper. It was Thibaut Courtois from Real Madrid who had that award. Now, the Gerd Müller Award, which is given to the best striker, also went to Robert Lewandowski of FC Barcelona. Then the Copa Trophy, which is given to the best young player, went to Pablo Gavi, who also plays for FC Barcelona. Sadio Mane won the Socrates Award. He is a player for the Senegalese national team and then Bayern Munich. Manchester City won the Club of the Year award. And, of course, they are in the English Premier League. Now, the winner of the Ultimate, Karim Benzema, said a few words after receiving the accolade.
De cette récompense, c'est pour toi, Karim Benzema.
It is indeed Karim Benzema, the fifth Frenchman to win the Ballon d'Or, first since Zidane in 1998. And recognition for Benzema after what was an outstanding season for Real Madrid. Back in the French team as well.
Quelques mots pour lui.
Helps Real Madrid win both the Spanish League crown and the Champions League.
Le 66e Ballon d'Or.
The winner of the 66th Ballon d'Or, Karim Benzema.
Profite.
What a special occasion it is for him. And for his family and his close ones as well.
Karim, on a hâte d'entendre le premier mot.
We'll hear from Benzema.
Bonsoir, bonsoir, bonsoir. Non, attendez.
Crowd absolutely loving the moment.
Ça marche là? Fonctionne? Fonctionne. Bon, bonsoir à tous.
Good evening all.
De voir ça devant moi, c'est une fierté.
This prize in front of me makes me really proud. When I was small,
tout le travail
all the work I did,
où j'ai jamais lâché.
I never
C'était un rêve de gamin comme tous les gamins. J'ai grandi avec ça dans ma tête. Et puis après, j'ai eu de la motivation. Car j'ai eu deux modèles dans ma vie. Zizou et Ronaldo.
Role models in my life.
Donc,
Zidane and Ronaldo as well.
C'est beaucoup de travail. C'est rien lâcher. C'est de s'entraîner encore plus, mais surtout garder toujours cette chose-là, ce rêve dans la tête, parce que tout est possible. Parce que, il y a eu des moments où c'était beaucoup plus difficile pour moi. On ne regarde pas que le côté bien aujourd'hui, parce que c'est là devant moi, mais il y a eu ces périodes où, par exemple, j'étais pas en sélection, où j'ai rien lâché. J'étais avec mon coach ici, on travaillait beaucoup aux entraînements, et il me répétait sans cesse de garder dans ma tête cette joie de jouer au foot. Et que un jour je pourrais gagner ce trophée-là. Donc voilà, je suis vraiment fier de mon parcours. C'était difficile. Mes parents sont là. Il y a eu cette période où c'était difficile pour toute ma famille. Donc voilà, ça m'a fait que me renforcer mentalement. Et ensuite, voilà, aujourd'hui être là, ici présent, c'est la première fois pour moi. Donc je suis vraiment content, satisfait de mon travail. Je vais continuer comme ça.
I'm going to keep going like I have.
Et voilà, je suis vraiment content.
And
donc j'aimerais
remercier
déjà tous mes coéquipiers,
like to thank my teammates,
au Real Madrid ou en sélection.
Real Madrid or with the national team.
À mon entraîneur.
My coach as well. I'd like to say thanks to him.
À mon grand président qui est là, qui est pour moi
as well as the Real Madrid
comme quelqu'un de ma famille, parce que le jour où il m'a donné l'opportunité de signer à Madrid, il s'est déplacé jusqu'à chez moi. Ça montre l'homme que c'est. Il a toujours été droit avec moi. Il m'a toujours mis en confiance. C'est pour ça qu'aujourd'hui, il a tout mon respect. J'oublie pas aussi Monsieur Aulas qui est là, toute l'académie lyonnaise, car sans eux, j'ai réalisé mon rêve
Benzema started his career before moving to Real Madrid over a decade ago.
D'une famille, d'être soudés tous ensemble. Après voilà, il y a beaucoup de choses, donc je remercie tout le monde. Ce Ballon d'Or, comme je dis, c'est individuel, mais ça reste collectif.
This Ballon d'Or is an individual prize, but it's still a collective one because of everyone who's played a role in it.
It was Karim Benzema, the winner of the men's Ballon d'Or, 44 goals in all competitions last season for Real Madrid. He truly deserves to be crowned the best player in the world. Now let's move into the local scene. The draw of the prelims round of the 2022-2023 MTN FA Cup competition will be held today. Clubs from Division 1 and Division 2 League will know who their opponent will be in the first round of the competition after today's draw. The winners of this round of the competition will join Premier League clubs in the round of 64 draw. Hearts of Oak are the defending champions, having won it for the second time in a row after defeating Bechem United in the final last season. However, tough competition is expected, particularly from Asante Kotoko, the Porcupine Warriors, who last won it in 2017. Now that's how we draw the curtains down on sports. My name is Robert Konyeh. Thanks for your time.
Welcome back and thank you very much, Robert, for the sports update. Let's now take a recap of the top stories. Some junior high school students partaking in this year's BAC are confident they will come out with flying colors. Also, President Akufo-Addo has commissioned a 20-unit residential facility for justices of the appeals court in Kumasi. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has threatened to take legal action against the government for failing to pay over 10 billion cedis accrued debt it owes contractors. Well, that brings us to the end of the Wake Up News with you this morning. I am Sandra. It's now time for Yes Say No Say. Thank you so much for your time.